Now, if you combine these mobility tips and the tips from my previous video, then you should be able to do a pistol squat in no time. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another tutorial. You guys absolutely loved my last pistol squat tutorial. For those of you guys who didn't know, it was my 2 tips of keeping the leg low, leaning forward to correct your center of mass and gravity, and gliding the foot out for a pistol squat. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll link it in the video description, so make sure to check that out. But in that video, it was assumed that you had the strength and mobility to do a pistol squat, you just didn't have the proper technique down. But what if you don't have the ankle mobility or the hip mobility or the strength? Well, that's what I'll be covering in the next couple of videos. In today's video, I'll be specifically addressing ankle mobility. Now, I want to keep this as simple and uncomplicated for you guys as possible. All mobility means is just flexibility plus strength. It's how flexible are you and how much strength you have in that flexibility range of motion. So I can lift my hips all the way up to here, but with my hands, if I add some more pressure, I can bring it even higher. Bringing it higher with external force, that's what my flexibility is. But I only have the strength to bring it about right here, which means my mobility ends right here. So again, my mobility ends right here, but my flexibility can go all the way up here. I don't have the strength to be able to bring my knees much higher. So today, in order to address specifically the ankle mobility, we have to address the strength of our ankles, which is dorsiflexion, and then also the flexibility of our ankles as well. So as I said earlier, mobility is just flexibility plus strength. So let's go ahead and tackle those separately. For the flexibility component, what you can do is you can get into a lunge position right here, and while you keep the heel on the ground, you simply just lean forward and you'll feel a nice deep stretch in your calves. Tight calves will prevent your dorsiflexion flexibility. So lean forward and hold it. And what you can do is you can do this for 3 sets of 30-second holds. And if this gets hard, you can hold onto an object to support you. So what you want to prevent is you want to prevent your heels from rising up just like that. So make sure your heels stay on the ground and then lean forward. Press down on that knee a little bit if your knees can handle it, and then get a nice deep stretch. Hold that for 3 sets of 30 seconds. The next one is simply just going to be a deep squat and then holding this position. Not only does this help with your ankles, this also helps with your hips as well. So as you're sitting in this deep squat, as deep as you can go, if you can only go to right here and you feel like you're very tight, then yeah, hold on to something and then try and improve that over time. Generally speaking, the wider your feet are, the easier it is going to be to go on a deeper squat. And as this gets easier, try and bring the feet closer and closer in together to the point where you can squat like this. And eventually, if you can get to the point where your feet are touched together and you're able to squat like this, without your heels lifting up or without falling back, then you definitely have the ankle mobility to do a pistol squat. For the deep squat stretch, you can also hold a weight in front of you. This will help with counterbalance if you're having balance issue, and also this can make the stretch more effective. So I just addressed the flexibility component of the mobility. Now let's tackle strength. In order to get stronger dorsiflexion, you need to target the muscles that work dorsiflexion. And in this case, this is mainly called a muscle called the tibialis anterior. And one way you can do that is you can just hold on to something and then simply raise your toes to your face, hold for a second, bring it back down. Raise your toes, bring it back down. You can go ahead and do 3 sets of 12 to 15. Another way to challenge yourself is to grab a resistance band, tie a resistance band to an object, and then put it around your foot. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna do the same motion, bring your toes all the way to your face. Make sure you control both motions going back and forth. And you can do 3 sets of 12 to 15 of these as well. Now, the other exercise that we're gonna be doing is simply calf raises. And I specifically want you guys to do them on an elevated surface, because with the elevated surface, I can get a nice deep stretch on my calves before pushing back up. You guys see how my heel is going down past my toes in the parallel mark? What this does is it tackles both strength and flexibility, because at the downward portion I am stretching my calves, and then on the upward portion I am strengthening my calves. Again, I would like to do about 3 sets of 12 to 15 on those, and that is something where you can add some external weight. So you can either do it on a calf raise machine at a gym, or if you don't go to a gym, you can just have a backpack with a little bit of weight on it and progress that way. Now, it's important to note that everyone's starting point is going to be a little bit different. On the stretches, I recommend about 3 sets of 30 seconds, and on the exercises, I recommend about the 3 sets of 12 to 15 range. range. For some of you guys, you might need to stretch a little bit longer, and for others, you might need to stretch a little bit less. That's where you're gonna have to be the judge. Stick to one and then try it out for a week. If it's not working, maybe increase the reps and time a little bit. And if it is working, then you don't really need to change anything. If you do everything I told you to in this video about 2 to 3 times a week, then you should notice significant improvements in your ankle mobility. And if you don't, maybe bump it to about 3 to 4 times a week. Now, if you combine these mobility tips and the tips from my previous video, then you should be able to do a pistol squat in no time. My next video is going to be addressing hip mobility for the pistol squat, so stay tuned for that. And then the video after, I'm going to be giving you guys some exercises to do if you guys are lacking strength to do a pistol squat. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this. I make tutorials and vlogs on this channel. And also follow me on Instagram at The Calisthenics Project for more great calisthenics tips. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys in another video of mine. Peace.